Two plenums EVs we just finished. We had to extend the pads, as we can see, because I didn't want to put the units that close to the wall. We did all new electrical. And take you guys through the inside of these things also. As far as, you know, this thing is variable speed drive, and so a lot of guys might not know how to work on this part right here, and that's understandable, but I'm here to tell you, you don't really have to, because I was really impressed with the only problem I did see with one of these and how it self-diagnosed itself, and it actually said, it flashed on its own sensor inside that the drive was bad. And you know, this whole thing from top to bottom here is all one part, and so there's only one thing that can go wrong here, and that's it. And so yes, you're never gonna have small problems like contactors anymore. You're either gonna need a drive or a compressor or a condenser motor, or you might need a filter dryer or TXV, something like that. But essentially, you know, we got a condenser coil, we got a condenser motor. Let's look at this one here because it's off. It's easier to look at. We got a compressor inside. You see a normal high pressure switch right there. Standard 24 volt. Low pressure switch over there on the suction. They're actually thermistors though on the low pressure, so that's nice. Standard 24 volt high pressure switch though, and you know, you can see inside you got some tubing, but there's nothing special going on in there. It's a standard system. The refrigerant flow is essentially the exact same as any other system. It comes in the suction, gets compressed, and through the condenser coil, and then back out. So this system works just like any other system, guys. You're supposed to have vapor coming back through the suction, through the thick line, the suction, back to the compressor. It gets compressed into a high pressure vapor, where then it flows through this condenser coil around and around and around, and as the air flowing across it cools the refrigerant and removes the heat, it then turns into a high pressure liquid. It's been dropped enough in its temperature from the moving air to turn it into a liquid, dropping its temperature below its dew point, just enough to turn into a liquid, and that's what we would call subcooling. Every degree below its dew point would be 1 degree of subcooling, and so if we were looking for 10 degrees of subcooling, which we are, then we would be 10 degrees below its dew point. And so that's how it's supposed to leave the condenser, with 10 degrees of subcooling as a high pressure liquid exiting the condenser and going out through the filter dryer and up to the indoor coil that would be attached to the furnace. Say right before it enters the coil, it would run into a metering device of some kind, whether it be a TXV or a piston. There, the pressure would drop so much that it would become a low pressure liquid. It's still a liquid, but the pressure drops so considerably that it's now a low pressure cold liquid. But we're going to go through the evaporator coil now, picking up air, the air from the blower motor will now move across the evaporator coil, boiling the refrigerant back into a vapor. So it is now a low pressure vapor exiting the condenser coil, on the evaporator coil. And then it comes back as that low pressure vapor to start to cycle all over again. So that's the refrigerant cycle of the variable speed 20 Seer system, and as you can see, just like every other system. But the difference in this one here is you actually have less parts to break. because you just have this drive and you got a solid warranty. So the one thing that can fail is this, and if it does, you got a new one. So there's not a lot that can go wrong, but it did self-diagnose itself the one time I saw one go fail, but it did not fail because of manufacturer error. It failed from installation error. I'll admit one of our guys had made a mistake when we first had installing these systems, and so we weren't happy about that, but at least I got to learn a lesson when it came to repairing these and how easy it was. This drive, I found it very easy to replace. Not scared of them at all, not anymore. So, you see how quiet this system is? That's why we love them.